All right, and we had some big news here in July as Google announced, after we've heard about it for many years, that they are backtracking on cookie deprecation. It seems like it's been at least 3-4 years now where there is going to be a suitable alternative for cookies that Google would introduce. And it started with federated learning of cohorts, or FLoC. Google had ditched that and switched on over to a topics type of targeting that would hopefully allow advertisers to still gain that granularity of targeting people based on topics that they liked, with a couple of red herrings in there so that it wasn't personally identifiable information. And then Google had kind of said, you know what, let's just make a privacy sandbox and let's get all the best advertisers out there trying to come up with ways that we can advertise, remarket, and try to gain efficiency with those audiences instead of using a cookie that stays with the user. Well, in July, we learned that Google said, oh, done with that. And Google is going to continue their cookies as ways to track audiences. However, there will be a few changes with this. According to Google's post over that is titled "A New Path for Privacy Sandbox on the Web," they say, "We're proposing an updated approach that elevates user choice. Instead of deprecating third-party cookies, we would introduce a new experience in Chrome that lets people make an informed choice that applies across their web browsing, and they'd be able to adjust the choice at any time. We're discussing this new path with regulators, and we'll engage with the industry as we roll this out." They also unveiled a report that talked about some of the effectiveness of what was happening in the privacy sandbox. And Google found many ways to gain efficiency without cookies. So for one example, scale preservation. They said that for advertiser spend, a proxy for scale, we saw an 89% recovery in Google display ads and an 86% recovery in display and video 360. For ROI, they were able to recover 97% recovery in conversions per dollar, a proxy for ROI in display ads, and a 95% CPD in display and video 360. But they could never really figure it out when it comes to remarketing recovery. Across campaigns using Privacy Sandbox instead of cookies, they were only able to recover 55% of advertiser spend recovery in Google Ads and 49% in display and video 360. And I think that's where the real juicy details lie, is that without cookies, it is very hard to do remarketing well without that identifiable information. So if you have been looking at different Privacy Sandbox options, they still might be very valid and things that you can use. Users will be able to opt out of cookies now with Google Chrome, as I had mentioned earlier, and things may be a little bit less effective, but overall, this is a great piece of news for advertisers, as we will still be able to track and advertise the right message to the right person at the right time based off of some of the sites that they visited. So if you have any questions or are looking to enhance your remarketing, your retargeting, or just any of your audience targeting, please don't hesitate to reach out and give us a call, and we can help you bring back the cookie.